Hi, I'm Ztarli, and in this video I draw the Pokemon Noivern. I'm just popping in some reference pictures for Noivern so I can get the colours and the shape right. These are just official images, so the top one's just an official Pokemon image and the bottom two are actually clips from the game itself. Then I start with my rough sketch, so just sketching out the shapes or where things will be positioned. So I'm not really defining the shape of the ears at the moment. I just want to make sure I know what direction they're going to be in the rough positioning of them. I am actually going to only do sketching for this one. So this is the original rough sketch, and then I do a second sketch, so a double sketch, where I do a new layer above it, turn the opacity of the layer below down, and then re-sketch over top of the original sketch so that I can define the features a bit more. So yeah, then after that I'll just be doing the colouring stage, so I will actually be skipping the line art stage. So we'll go back straight from my sketches to the colours and then merging them together and painting. So just skipping that line art stage. I'm not going to have a refined line art for this one. Most of this video has been sped up to 20 times speed. I do change the speed back down to about 5 or 2 times speed when I'm changing tools, so you can sort of see what I'm doing. But if you'd like more in-depth details about how I use my tools, I do have an Artflow series where I slow down a lot more and sort of explain what I'm doing more. So if you want to know more about what I'm actually doing, then just pop onto my channel and look for the Artflow series playlist there. It's now time for flat colouring, so I've created a new layer and I'm just circling around the shape of the picture, and then I bucket in some paint and just add the rest of the colours on. Noivern's like the best colours. Like that sort of tealy, aqua-y colour and purple are like two of my favourite colours. And mixed with like black or grey or whatever you want to call that, I think it's a pretty cool colour combination. I'm not a huge fan of the red that they've added, but I think it still works. And I really enjoy colouring all of this, so overall I think Noivern's a pretty cool design. So yeah, it's cool. I plan to have a fully coloured background for this one, so I'm just planning what colours are going to be in the background before I start the shadow and highlight process. If you watch any of my other videos, you'll know that if I do plan on having a full background, I will usually plan that first so that I can integrate colours from the background into the colouring of the character itself. For this background, it's kind of a very rigid one. I don't normally use the select tool to add colours for background. I usually do a more natural thing, so I'll usually just draw. But because I decided I wanted to have a wall and I'm not good at drawing straight lines, I decided I would use the select tool and then just colour bucket into those selected areas. I actually don't super love my background when I am done with it, and it looks pretty bad at this point in time, but I make it better. It's just I don't love it by the end, but you know, it is what it is. And now I've done a shadow layer above the colour layer as well, so I've just chosen a darker colour and turned the opacity down on it and made it a darkened layer, and I'm just mixing in some different colours into my shadow layer. So especially since the wings are really close to the body, I've taken some of that wing colour and just blended it into parts of Noivern, so you can see on the legs and on its fur and stuff. And I do also just like adding in a bit of orange or yellow where there's a harsh shadow. So for some reason I just really like doing that harsh orange just underneath the neck shadow. I do it on nearly every picture. I don't know why. I just think it looks good. I've now moved on to the highlight layer, so just a really quick dump of some colours here and then just making adjustments to it and making a colour dodge. And just adding some brighter colour into the wings and the fur and that kind of thing. I've now merged everything together, so I very quickly go to the painting stage for this one. So for a while it will just be me teardropping the colours and then painting over and over and over again with my opacity turned down. So this is all on the one layer now. And this is super fun to paint. I actually really enjoyed painting Noivern itself. I really liked the colours I ended up with my shadow and highlight layers. And as mentioned before, I like most of the colours Noivern has anyway. So I really enjoyed the painting part of the character for this picture. Originally, my favourite types of Pokemon were electric Pokemon in the first generation when there weren't really many other types of Pokemon. My favourite Pokemon from the first generation are Jolteon, Dragonair, Eevee's always really adorable. I wasn't a huge fan of Pikachu, but I loved Raichu. I love Raichu, it's so cute and fat, and I like its really long tail. Once later generations of Pokemon came out and there was more variety in the dragon Pokemon, I started to really like the dragons as well. I really like Hydrogen, which is that three-headed dragon, and I have drawn some antherized Hydrogens, which I redrew. So I drew it once and then I redrew it. And yeah, Dragonair is still one of my favorites. I love Noivern, which is why I'm drawing it now. It's one of my favorite newer Pokemon. But a lot of the dragons I'm a really big fan of. I like Gudra's cool as well. So yeah, I guess I just like dragons in general. So when Pokemon started bringing out more dragons, it was obvious that I was going to drift towards those as well. I still really love a lot of electric Pokemon like Shinx and Luxray, and Ampharos and all those kinds of things. So I'm still torn between which two are my favorite, like dragon or electric. I think in my heart it's still electric. I really like the element of electric, and Jolteon's been like one of my top tier Pokemon for such a long time that I kind of feel like I have to be loyal to electricity. But yeah, dragon's definitely a close second. So you've probably noticed by now I have moved on to the background, so I'm trying to make my hideous background actually look like something that exists in real life. With the actual ground, this is something I really like doing. I like doing this large sort of stone plates or blocks on the ground, and then just adding that white edge to it to make them look like they're actually separate pieces. And I like adding that little moss there as well. So I did enjoy doing the ground part of the picture, but then when I move on to the bricks and the background itself, so the trees and stuff way in the distance, I just can't get it right. I probably should have used more references for this. I'm a bit happier after I add the vines and stuff on it, but I'm never really happy with how the rest of the background turned out. Part of me just kind of wishes I could just have the ground, but it would be a pretty boring picture without the rest of it in there. I'm now trying to hide all my mistakes by blurring it. Also, I'm creating distance for the actual background itself. So I blur the behind Noivern quite a bit, and then I blur the front a little bit, and then I'll erase part of that blurred layer right at the base of Noivern, so it looks sort of like the camera is focusing in on Noivern itself. And then I move on to trying to create focus on the character itself. So here I've added a distance color layer, so I just add a washed out blue or grey color to parts of the character that should appear to be further away from the character. Actually, looking back on this now, I think I should have left this layer on. It actually looked pretty okay, but at the time I was getting pretty frustrated with this picture and I decided that I didn't like it, so I actually ended up getting rid of that layer and opting in for the blurring technique for the character as well. So just duplicating the character layer and blurring it, and then erasing away parts that I want to be in focus. But yeah, I should have left that shaded layer there as well, but I deleted it, so it's gone now. When I finished this recording, I wasn't 100% sure if I actually wanted to use it for a YouTube video or not, because it didn't turn out to be one of my best pictures. I don't mind how the Noivern came out, and I say the ground is okay, but there are definitely lots of flaws in this. I'm not super happy with the shape of that front wing. I just could have done better than what I did. And I'd spent a lot of time at the end just trying to make adjustments to make the whole thing come together, and I just never felt like it really did. But I thought, I'd share this video as well, because not everybody's perfect, and sometimes you can learn things from looking back on your own stuff and learning from your mistakes. And certainly I did learn some things when I did this picture as well. So after adding a bit of mist around the base of the wall, I signed it and I decided it was done. I cropped it down to the size I wanted it to be, and I do actually save 2 different versions of this picture. So after saving the original colored version, I then go and make some adjustments again. So I go and turn the contrast up a bit, just to make it a little bit more vibrant, both for the background and the character itself. And then I said it was done. So I'd actually done this picture about half a month ago, and it's been sitting in my gallery since then. But today when I was re-looking at it, I decided I wanted to try something else with the background as well, and I returned to it. So what I do here is something I haven't really used in my other videos, is I changed the paint fill tool to the gradient tool and add a gradient to it. So I'll just show you how that kind of works. So I've got the gradient tool here, and you can click the little circles at the bottom to add different colors, and you can change what kind of gradient it is, whether it be like a circle or just a line. You can also add other colors in just by clicking on the line at the bottom and selecting different colors. So you can actually make some pretty interesting effects by doing this. So instead of sort of created a halo effect by adding a different color in the middle of it and then changing how far apart those colors are. But I just selected for the image itself, I've decided on a yellow to blue gradient, and I'm just now going through every single blending mode to see if I can get something that I like, something that will actually work with the background that's already there. This is actually the uncropped version of the picture, so I will actually have to crop it back down again once I'm finished. But yeah, you just see that I'm playing with opacity and playing with the blending modes again. Sometimes it makes some pretty weird effects. So you can see there, for some reason I had a blue line around the edge of my picture. Must have just been a color that didn't like that blending mode and just made a really harsh color. But yeah, if you're not sure on what you want to do with the blending mode, then I do just recommend just go through them all until you find something that you like. I've already decided on 2 that I was pretty happy with, but I am still going through the list to see if there's any other ones there that I like better, and just changing the opacity to see how that affects it. Yeah, I'm settling on, I think it's linear light is the one I decided to go for. I decided to then check and see what it would look like as different colors as well. So I just go into the effects menu and choose hue saturation, and I'm just changing the hue bar to see what it looks like with different colors there. I do decide just to stick with the color I'd already chosen, but just change a couple of things here, like the saturation of those colors. I also decide that I might actually use the layer I'd purely created to show you how to use the gradient tool. It actually has some pretty cool effects when you change the blending mode, so yay for experimentation. But I really like how it's sort of giving this halo effect, I guess like the sort of sun is coming through the mist or something like that. And yeah, there's some pretty interesting effects here, so I always encourage you to experiment, just try new things, even if it's just to figure out how something works and you don't plan on having a picture at the end. It is still fun to try different things and try different blending layers and that kind of stuff. But yeah, I decided to actually keep this experimental gradient layer with the halo. I decided I kind of like how it ended up looking. So I actually leave it as part of the picture. I make some final adjustments to the very back layer, which is just my trees and sky in the background, and then I decide that I have finished with the readjustments to the picture. So I think it's done this time. I think I'm done with this picture. I'm not sure if I have the energy to return to it, so I think this is as done as it's gonna be. So yeah, crop it down, save it. Done. Yay, it's finished. Let me know what you think of the picture. As I said before, I'm not terribly happy with it, but if you could see anything that I could have changed to make it better, let me know in the comments below. And which one of them did you like better? Did you like the original finished one or the edited one? Thanks everybody for watching. Don't forget to like the video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more. Bye!